whoever, just read it over the loudspeaker.
Please direct your attention to home plate for a special presentation. Last week, Alto, Texas participated in the 15U Girls DYS World Series. Commissioner William Wade, Wes Skeleton, Texas State Director, Jason Mitchell, Texas National Director, Lamont Reese, Texas District 6 Director, Bo Cumberland, Texas District 7 Director, and Stuart Cook, Assistant District 2 Director, are on the field to present Alea her batting champion plaque. Congratulations to Alea, the 15U DYS World Series batting champion.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
field.
They already took theirs.
Yeah.
Got there.
No, I was saying how much time's left from Florida? How much time?
Florida, you have 1 minute left.
Players.
I'm going to start announcing visitors. When I announce you, please go to your defensive position. Number 21, Pax Hood. Number 9, Grayson Born Tracker. Number 5, Hudson Groom. Number 4, Mason Wyatt. Number 6, Austin Myers. Number 23, Tucker Moss. Number 13, Cashton Huddle. Number 34, Brantley White. Number 11, Carter Same. Number 18, Ike Same. Number 12, Dylan Carpenter. Coaches, Dustin Huddle, Brent Knott, Mike Borntagger. Now for the home team, number 27, Kason Jackson. 13, Ty Cleveland. 33, Hayden Lee. 21, Jackson Hancock. 12, McElroy Pollitt. Number 4, Colton Elter. Number 11, Clay Germain. Number 31, Colin Carter. Number 1, Tyler Goddard. Number 2, Griffin Troy. Number 8, Carter Knight. And the coaches, Bo Jackson, Lee Elder, Trey Cleveland. Will all players and coaches go to the pitcher's mound for a prayer?
Well, good afternoon and welcome back to the Diamond Youth League 2024 12 and under Ozone Division II World Series Championship Tournament. I'm Chuck Zach, coming to you live from Bossier City's Tinsley Sports Park, where we're getting ready for a matchup between the state champion from North Carolina and the state champion from Florida in what is a winner and advance and loser and you go home game. We're on the loser side of the bracket. Florida, which won their opening game over Vivian by a score of 11-1, lost this morning to Alabama 6-5. That slid them into the losers bracket, where they're going to face a North Carolina team that lost to Texas 2-1 yesterday and that beat Arkansas today to advance and stay alive. So this is pretty good matchup, two very good teams. In fact, the team from Avon Park in Florida, considered one of the favorites to maybe win this entire tournament. A little bit of a surprise they lost to Alabama this morning, but they got a chance to stay on the path. Win and you play tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that would be against the loser of Alabama and South Carolina. Lose and you go home early. So far, winners today: Alabama, South Carolina, which got a bye through to the second round, Texas, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina's runner-up, Louisiana, and Tennessee have all won and are still alive. We have lost Arkansas, we have lost Vivian, Louisiana, and we're on the verge of losing either Virginia or Mississippi in the other elimination game. We're underway. North Carolina is the visiting team, and Pax Hood leading things off for the red, white, and blue North Carolina champions. Pax Hood at third base, batting first. Grayson Borntrager, the shortstop, will hit second. Hudson Grooms at second base, bats third. Pitcher Mason Wyand sitting fourth. Catcher Austin Myers will hit fifth. Another one fouled back, and the count's quickly 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tucker Motts in center field hits sixth. It'll be Cashton Hillette, the left fielder, hitting seventh. Brantley Wyant eighth. Carter Sane, the first baseman, hitting ninth. Ike Sane hitting 10th. And Dylan Carpenter in right field will be the 11th batter. Ground ball to the shortstop, and there's one away is Kason Jackson, shortstop for Florida, with the throw over to Jackson Hancock, for the first out of the ball game. Here's the defense for Florida. Jackson Hancock at first, Clay Germain at second, Kason Jackson at short. McCoy Pollitt is at third. Pitch is swing and a miss by Grayson Borntrager. Kyle Dowdy is in left, Colton Elder in center, Griffin Troy in right. Behind the plate, Ty Cleveland. Hayden Lee, the lefty, is on the mound. This one popped up and playable, and that'll be grabbed in fair territory by Jackson Hancock for the second out of the inning. North Carolina, coached by Dustin Hullett, Brett Motts, and Mike Borntrager. Florida coaches are Bo Jackson, Lee Elder, and Ronald Cleveland III. In steps Hudson Grooms, a second baseman. He looks at a first pitch outside for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. This one lifted foul, third base side, and the count's a ball and a strike now. This Florida team has been here now, I believe, the third or fourth time. They've, I believe, have won state championship a couple of years ago. I gotta go back and look at my notes. This one lifted into left field, and left fielder Kyler Doty gets there for the catch, and that'll end the very quick first inning for Hayden Lee and Florida. 1-2-3, top of the first. We'll come back for the bottom of the inning when we return here on Game Day. All right, welcome back. Bottom of the first inning here in Bossier City. About 82 degrees, wind blowing out to center field at about 5 miles an hour, gusting to about 7. Here's a lineup for Florida. Kason Jackson, the shortstop, is going to lead things off. He'll be followed by catcher Ty Cleveland, pitcher Hayden Lee, and first baseman Jackson Hancock. McCoy Pollitt hitting in the number 5 spot. He's playing third base. Colton Elder in center field is going to hit 6. Clay Germain at second base batting 7th. Cohen Carter will hit 8th. Left fielder Kyler Doty is going to hit 9th. Right fielder Griffin Troy hitting in the 10 spot, and Carter Knight is batting 11th. Defensively, North Carolina's got Carter Sane at first, Hudson Grooms at second, Grayson Barntrager at short, Pax Hood at third, Cashton Hillette at left field, Tucker Motts in center, Dylan Carpenter in right, Austin Meyer behind the plate, and Mason Wyant on the mound. So we're ready to roll. 3-man umpiring crew in this game. Florida about to send Kason Jackson up to the plate. Had a couple of outstanding games in the last 24 hours or so. Texas with a big rally to beat South Carolina. They were trailing 5-0 going into the 6th inning. They scored 6 times and won that game. We saw a back and forth affair between Florida and Alabama early this morning. And there's one going on right now between Mississippi and Virginia, with Mississippi holding on to now what's a 9-7 lead. They had rallied back, I believe, from down a few runs to make that one happen. And they're still playing a game that was supposed to start at 2 o'clock. I don't know which. A home run makes it 11-7. Mississippi just hit a home run on field number 9, which has been a home run derby field. Here on field 10, there's been one home run. Beckett Miller hit one in the last game for the winners from Tennessee. So in steps Jackson now, looks at a first pitch for a called strike. There's been just the one long ball, and we've got a little wind carrying the ball out to center today as Jackson looks at a pitch high for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. We'll remind you of the important rule, which is how many pitches can you throw? 40 for a pitcher, and he's good to go the next game. Throw more than that, and you're in some trouble. This one hit to left field, and it's going to get down for a base hit from Kason Jackson. So Florida's on the board with a leadoff single, and here's Ty Cleveland coming up. Both these teams aggressive on the bases. Cleveland showing bunt, however. Pitches outside. Throw from Myers on the second base side of the bag, and that allows Kason Jackson to slide in safely. And Florida's got a runner in scoring position with a 1 ball, no strike count on Ty Cleveland. See if they continue to show bunt to try to get him to third. And they do not. He swings away. Hard ball off the glove of the third baseman. They'll hold up Kason Jackson at third base, and runners around the corners for Florida with nobody out. This Florida team can swing the bats. Did not have a great game against Alabama swinging, but they talked to their coach after that game, and he said, we can swing better than that. We're going to. A look over to first as Cleveland scampers back to the bag. Hayden Lee, the pitcher, up now. Here's the pitch way high, and ball dropped by Austin Myers. Not even a throw to contest Ty Cleveland, who steals second base. So both runners now in scoring position. First baseman Jackson Hancock on deck. Here's the pitch to Lee. This one, ground ball toward first. Stabbed by the first baseman. He'll rush to the bag and get the out there. And then his throw gets away from Austin Myers. And that allows Ty Cleveland to get down to third base. Coming in to score on the ground out originally was Kason Jackson. And Florida goes up 1-0. So a good defensive play at the beginning of that by Carter Singh. Got to the ball, got the out. And then after the fact, really did not have to throw home. But his throw home allowed Ty Cleveland to go down to third base. Here's Hancock now. He looks at a first pitch strike. So a pair of singles, ground out, and a run across for Florida with a runner at third now. Pitch on the way. That one gets through the catcher, but he's quickly on top of it, and Cleveland can't advance as Hancock swings and misses, and he's in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. McCoy Pollitt waiting on deck. Florida gets the early lead here, 1-0. There's the pitch from North Carolina's Mason Wyant, and that's high and outside. And for a ball. Ty Cleveland dancing around at third, trying to get Wyant's attention, and he did. Takes a look over at him, fakes the throw. And he'll throw over there this time. And that one gets by the third baseman. Cleveland's going to take off, and he'll come in to score. Well, they spent a lot of time looking at Cleveland. They faked a throw over there, and Wyant decided, I got to go over there again. When he does, he throws the ball past his third baseman. And the error by the pitcher allows the run to score, and it's a 2-0 Florida lead. And quick timeout for North Carolina. Coach Hullett coming over to talk to his infield now and trying to settle down his pitcher. Bases are empty. There's one out and a 1-2 count on the batter. Everything's magnified now. They start to get really important with every single move you make. And the stress starts ratcheting up a little bit. May not have been stress in the pool play games on Thursday. Maybe a little bit on Friday, knowing you got another chance. For this one, a lot of stress. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Florida with a 2-0 lead. That pitch, a sweeping curve, misses. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. This one hit to third, 3-hopper. Throw across, on the money. Good play by Pax Hood to retire Jackson Hancock for the second out of the inning.
Now up to bat, number 12, McCoy Pollock.
So now Pollock comes in. McCoy Pollock, third baseman. 2 outs, bases empty. And Mason Wyatt's first pitch in there. This is hit to left. Good job by left fielder Cashton Hullett, who's roaming over in left field near the foul line to pull that one in, and that ends the inning. But Florida gets 2 runs. They do that on 2 hits. There were no errors. Well, actually, take that back. There was 1 error, and nobody left on base. We're in the books for 1 full inning. We'll come back for the top of the second. North Carolina coming to bat, trailing 2-0 here on game day. All right, welcome back. A little substitution for Florida as, let's see, Carter Knight checking into the game in right field for Griffin Troy. North Carolina ready to bring in the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Mason Wyatt, Austin Myers, and Tucker Motts to face Hayden Lee. 2-0 Florida with the lead. Florida from Avon Park, this area that was originally settled back in the 1880s. It's part of a settlement used to study the Everglades. Ultimately, we got some settlers in that area, and voila, you got a community. Today, there's about 10,000 people living in the city of Avon Park, Florida. All right, warm-up toss is finished for Hayden Lee, and here comes pitcher Mason Wyatt to face him. Lee had a pretty easy first inning, a 1-2-3 first, and he goes back to work now. He only had to use up 9 pitches that last time around. That one misses high and away for ball 1. Also into the game for Florida out in left field, Cohen Carter. This one fouled out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. That catches the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mason Wyatt at the plate with Austin Myers, the catcher, in the on-deck circle. Here's the pitch. Whoa, got him looking at a floater. Looked a little inside to Wyatt, who didn't like that call, but he goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning. And the first strikeout for Hayden Lee. Myers coming up now with Tucker Motts in the on-deck circle. Haven't seen that many lefty-lefty matchups so far in the tournament. Hayden Lee, one of the few lefty pitchers. He buries that one right down the middle of the strike zone to get ahead, no balls and 1 strike. Make it 2-0. Move that one just a little bit further away from Myers. And now he's got Austin in an 0-2 hole. Swings it one way out of the strike zone. That's what the first 2 did. They put him in a defensive position where he really had to protect the plate and committed early. And there's 2 away with Tucker Motts coming up now, the center fielder. Boy, Lee's a little dialed in early. He's found his spot here in the second inning. Back-to-back strikeouts to open the inning. Hits the first one and then hits Tucker Motts. First base runner for North Carolina as Tucker Motts got one. I don't know if he got hurt more with the ball that hit him or when he hit the ground. So with the base runner on now, Ashton Hollett comes up. His first base runner for North Carolina. See if the lefty's got a good pickoff move. Goes to the plate instead, and first pitch is a little bit high, ball 1. And we get an errant ball onto the field. So we'll get rid of that and we'll get back to action. 1 ball, no strikes. Been very fortunate with the weather today. We had a lot of rain the first 2 days of this tournament. Today it's been cooperative. Pitch inside, misses 2 balls, no strikes. Hayden Lee thought he had a strike. Here's the 2-0. Pitch is tomahawked foul and out of reach of McCoy Pollitt over there at third base, who gave it a chase, but he wasn't getting to it, and it's 2-1. Brantley Wyant waiting on deck for North Carolina if this inning can continue. Here's the 2-1. Oh, good pitch on the outside corner to the righty, and now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swung on and fouled out of play, still 2-2. Oh, trying to get on, but also fouling off some pitches and keeping Hayden Lee's pitch count coming up. Only threw 9 in the first inning, 14 already here in this second inning. Misses with a floater just a little outside. Count fills up 3 balls and 2 strikes. Got him with the fastball, and he strikes out the side to retire North Carolina here in the second. No runs, there were no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Still 2-0. Florida with the lead. They'll come back to bat here in the bottom of the second when we return on Game Day. All right, welcome back. Pitching change for North Carolina. Hudson Grooms about to go to the mound in relief of Mason Wyant. So North Carolina not letting the pitch count get up for any of their guys. Want to keep them fresh and keep them moving. They got an inning worth out of Wyant. Now they're going to go to Grooms. Hudson had been the second baseman, so they'll make a defensive adjustment to cover him up. Brantley Wyatt behind the plate now as catcher. They've moved a couple of people around. Mason Wyatt now has moved from pitcher to first base, and the previous first baseman, Carter Sane, I think has moved over. Where is he playing? He's over at third, so they flipped a few guys. Sane moves over to third base from first. And Jackson Hancock, North Carolina's Pax Hood moves to second. So 3/4 of the infield shifted around. And that's Grooms getting ready to throw. For Florida, it's going to be Colton Elder, Clay Germain, and Cohen Carter. Brings up the 6, 7, 8 hitters. Florida with a 2-0 lead. And Elder getting ready to go. Book on Wyant after getting the 1 inning worth of work. He gave up 2 runs on 2 hits. He didn't walk anybody, didn't strike out anybody. All right, here's Elder ready. First pitch, he swings and pokes one in the center field for a leadoff base hit. So Clay Germain coming up now with a runner on base. Florida's had their leadoff man on each of the first 2 innings. That one's a strike outside corner. Cohen Carter on deck for Florida. Ooh, that one came inside. Germain barely moved. 1 ball, 1 strike. Florida, one of the few teams I think here with a pinstripe, which has become very popular at the high school level. Everybody's doing pinstripes now. That pitch high and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Clay Germain. He squares to bunt, pitch outside, 3-1. Just got the feeling Florida's offense is just itching to explode. Don't know if they will, but they've got the look. Pitch misses outside, ball 4. So a single and a walk. Florida opens up the second with 2 runners on, and Cohen Carter coming up. Carter, big right-handed kid. Swings and fouls that one into the glove of Brantley Wyatt for strike 1. Florida's got Colton Elder at second base, Clay Germain at first. That's in Grooms. Pitch in here. This one hit towards second. That gets through to right field. Runners are going to advance. They'll move around, and coming home from second base, safe, is Elder to make it a 3-0 lead. Cohen Carter with an RBI single. As Elder came all the way around from second, throw got him a really close play at the plate. But it looked like the right call. Germain went into third base on the throw in, and here's Kyler Doty. He shows bunt, not happening, and they'll let Cohen go on and take the base. And now coming home from third base and scoring is Germain. He saw that ball that Wyatt had thrown back up to Grooms off his glove, and that allowed for Germain to come in and score. So Carter swipes second. Germain comes on home on the throw, and it's 4-0 Florida. This one lifted to right. Grabbed out there by right fielder Dylan Carpenter for the first out of the inning. Griffin Troy coming up now. So Florida with a single, a walk, a single, and then an error on the throw by the catcher. To make this 2 more runs here in the second inning. 4-0 lead. And the pitch high and outside for ball 1. Griffin Troy, the number 10 hitter. Bottom of the orders, Carter Knight, he's on deck. That pitch low, ball 2. Ball 3 misses wide. Griffin Troy, long time now, he steps back in. That's a strike. 3-0 delivered into the zone to make it 3 balls and 1 strike. Cohen Carter standing at second base for Florida. 2 runs already have scored in this inning. Here's the pitch. Nope, missed wide for ball 4. The Florida with runners at first and second. Carter Knight up. Behind him, the top of the order, Kaysen Jackson. Pitch misses wide, ball 1. Right now, Hudson Grooms is struggling a bit. Single walk, single fly out walk. Pitch high, ball 2. Kind of wonder how much longer North Carolina can let him go before this game may start slipping away. Here's the pitch. That one's in there for a called strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 pitch. Hit to left. That's going to get down. Bases are going to be loaded. So Carter Knight from the number 11 spot gets a hit. Cohen Carter to third. Griffin Troy to second. And now top of the order, Kaysen Jackson. Jackson with a single, a steal, and a run. Ground ball right back to Grooms. They'll come to home for 1 to first base off the glove. And the runner's going to come around from third to score, and it'll be a 5-0 Florida lead. So they got the force out at home on the 1-2. But the throw from the catcher to the first baseman off of his glove, and that allowed Griffin Troy to come in and score. Carter Knight went to third base. And on the error, Kaysen Jackson ended up at second. This one hit in the air by Ty Cleveland. Left field camping under it and backs up a little bit. Makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. But Florida picks up 3 more runs to make it a 5-0 lead. They do that courtesy of 3 hits. There was an error and 2 men left on base. Top of the 3rd coming up. North Carolina trailing by 5 when we return here on Game Day. Florida now with a 5-0 lead as North Carolina comes to bat top of the 3rd. They'll have Brantley Wyatt, Carter Sane, Ike Sane facing Florida pitcher Hayden Lee, who's now been staked to an ever bigger lead. Came out and shut down Carolina in the 1st with no score. Got a 2-run lead, shut him down in the 2nd. Now he's got a 5-0 lead. North Carolina, this is feeling like it's in a dangerous place. I got to get a run here. Florida waiting to get Ty Cleveland back. He was the last batter, and of course, he's also the catcher, which means we got to wait for him to get the gear on. He's set now. Hayden Lee finishing up, and we're going to bring to the plate what was the catcher in the last inning, Brantley Wyatt. By the way, Griffin Troy back into the field in right field. Yeah, all of a sudden, this is the most sun we've seen in about 4 or 5 days here in the Shreveport-Bossier area. All right, Wyatt's in, ready. Hayden Lee, 25 pitches he's thrown so far, make it 26 as he starts off Wyatt with a called strike. That one a little bit high, 1-1. Outfield playing straight away, a little shallow. That's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wyatt mad at himself. He didn't swing all the way through that one. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball, big chopper to short. Throw with time for out number 1. Skateson Jackson retires the number 8 hitter, Brantley Wyatt. Carter Sain up now. North Carolina's started as first baseman, moved over to third base. Saw him pitching in the last game that we had a chance to see. That was against Arkansas this morning, where he ended up throwing 3 innings of no-hit ball. Fouled back to the screen. No balls and 1 strike. Ike Sain in the on-deck circle for North Carolina. 30 pitches now, Hayden Lee. Didn't like the call on the first signal. Likes the second one. It's fouled back, strike 2. Now, if Lee can give you 3 innings for less than 40 pitches, Florida's coach is going to have to be crazy happy with that. Here's the 0-2. Swung on again and fouled out of play. 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. Florida 5, North Carolina nothing. Winner gets to play tomorrow, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Little bit high again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. By the way, that game tomorrow will be on this. No, it'll actually be on field 9. So they'll be on the other field tomorrow. This one's lifted to right center. Long run for the center fielder. He makes the catch, however. Well done. It's Colton Elder, I think, out there that makes that catch for out number 2 in the inning.
Now batting number 18, Ike Sain.
So with 2 away, extra player Ike Sain up. Florida's defense outstanding. Ground ball right away. That's going to get through. Right past the pitcher and past shortstop Kason Jackson. And there's the first hit of the evening for North Carolina. Hayden Lee about to face Dylan Carpenter, the number 11 hitter in the lineup.
Now batting number 12, Dylan Carpenter.
Carpenter started the game in right field. Hayden Lee's got 5 pitches left before he starts messing with how much availability he's got for tomorrow. First pitch, high ball 1. Swing and a miss. Good fastball that time by Hayden Lee. It's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Another one in there. Boy, he had Carpenter backing away, but that's a good pitch. He's got a little tail on that. That left-handed pitcher with that fastball, just a little bit of tail away from the right-handed hitter. So it looks like it's coming at you, but it's got that little motion away. Here's the 1-2. Nope, stayed up top. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and now you're at pitch number 39. This would either be the last pitch that Hayden Lee's going to throw, and he's going to get out of this inning, or somebody else is going to have to finish this. And they're actually asking about this. Lights just have been turned on, by the way. They want to know if it's the correct number of pitches, 39. So here comes pitch number 40. We'll see what Florida decides. The way he's talking, it looks like he's going to get him out after this pitch. Lee's got a chance to end the third. Here's the pitch. Got him, strikeout swinging. And Hayden Lee does exactly that. He gets them through 3 innings. He just hit the 40 pitch count. And Florida takes a 5-0 lead into the bottom of the third. North Carolina, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left on. Coming back for the bottom of the third when we return here on Game Day. All right, bottom of the third inning, Florida to bring the 3, 4, 5 hitters up. Pretty good performance by Hayden Lee so far. Pitched 3 innings through all 40 pitches he was allowed, struck out 4, gave up just 1 hit, no walks, and no runs, hit 1 batter. It's about as good as you're going to get for 3 innings out of your starting pitcher. They got 3 innings left to try to finish off this game, and Lee gave them a good start. And why not? He'll step in to lead off the bottom of the third for Florida. Hudson Grooms, who pitched in the second, back in here in the third. Little changes defensively. Austin Myers back behind the plate for North Carolina, and Dylan Carpenter back in right field for Carolina. All right, Lee up. First pitch, a little high, ball 1. Hayden grounded out to the first baseman his first time up. Florida with 2 runs in the first, 3 runs in the second as we start this third. Pitch is high, ball 1. Well, ball 2, excuse me. This one hit a long way to right field, over the right fielder's head. Carpenter has to chase it down to the wall. Lee stumbling towards second, dives in head first, and it's a leadoff double. He gave it a pretty good ride. Now, I'll tell you what, the wind's kind of swirling out there in right. I was watching the flags. The ones in left field were blowing pretty hard out toward left. The ones in right had kind of shifted around blowing that way. And if they had stayed where they were a little while ago, straight out to right, that may have been a home run for Hayden Lee. And he's got a stand-up double, or rather a diving into first base double. Jackson Hancock up now. Hancock grounded out to third base his first time up. We still don't have a finish over there on Mississippi and Virginia. 13-11 now. Virginia's rallied back to take a lead over Mississippi. They trailed by 4 and have scored 6 runs. Count now 2 balls and no strikes to Jackson Hancock. This one hit hit a little nubber on the fly caught by first baseman Pax Hood over there for the out. And actually, let's see, that was Mason Wyant, rather, made that catch. So first out of the third inning. And McCoy Pollitt coming in now. Pollitt flew out to left his first time up. Hayden Lee standing down at second. Pitch high and inside for ball. One out here in the third. Another one high, and that's another ball. And Pollitt takes time out. That's really because North Carolina's coach is coming out. He's got 10 pitches left out of Hudson Grooms, but they're talking a little bit about the stuff he's doing on the mound. Trying to make sure that his delivery is right. So a quick little conversation. Did not take long. Ty Cleveland, by the way, is coming to run at second base for Hayden Lee. All right, we're all reset. Counts 2 balls and no strikes. Coy Pollitt. Ball 3, pitch a little high and away. Colton Elder waits on deck. He shows bunt, pulls the bat back. That's a strike, but Cleveland trots on into third base with an easy steal. And now he's just 70 feet away. Three balls and a strike. There's the pitch from Grooms, swung on and fouled. 3 balls and 2 strikes. This is the Division II series. I remind you, the Division I series will start on Friday. This one hit in the air. It's drifting back, second base there. He'll make the catch, acting like they're going to tag, and instead Cleveland takes about 2 hard steps and decides, no, that's not anywhere near deep enough to score me. And so with 2 away, Elder comes up. Elder singled and scored in the second. Florida in danger of not scoring for the first time in this game. Here's the pitch, missing wide, ball 1.
Pitcher number 5, Hudson Grooms, is now at 35 pitches.
Grooms trying to get out of this third inning. He's got 5 pitches, kind of in the same boat Hayden Lee was in the last half of the inning. He's got 5 pitches to try to get out of this. This one swung on, hard ball, hit to third base. Long throw, in time, they'll get out of the inning. So no runs for Florida. They waste a leadoff double. 1 man left on base. Top of the 4th coming up. Florida leading 5-0 here on game day. new pitcher on the mound for Florida. As Hayden Lee's afternoon, at least throwing the baseball as a pitcher, is over. He heads, it looks like, maybe out to the outfield. Instead, we're going to get Kyler Doty. Doty had started this game in left field, so we're shifting some folks around. He's going to get a chance here on the mound, though, as we move into the top of the fourth inning. Game that started about 4:30, a little after. It's been whipping through the first 3 innings in about 35 minutes. And that's a final score now. Virginia with a win over Mississippi, 13-11. So Mississippi's done. Virginia moves on. They'll get the South Carolina runner-up in an elimination game that's going to be played on the opposite field at 6 o'clock tonight. Game that started at 2. They were expecting that one to be long over. And, in fact, they're holding up the Alabama-South Carolina game that was supposed to start at 4 o'clock today. It's now a little after 5, so they're going to bump back South Carolina and South Carolina runner-up in Virginia a little bit. Game went forever. I don't know how many innings they played, but they played just the 6. They played that many, a lot of runs. So Mississippi becomes the 3rd eliminated team. Arkansas, Vivian, and now Mississippi out. The loser of this one will be the 4th one out. And for North Carolina, top of the order, Pax Hood, Grayson Borntrager, and Hudson Grooms to face new pitcher Kyler Doty. First pitch, called strike, outside part of the plate. It's really more about location than stuff at this level, the 12 unders. You don't have to necessarily have great stuff, but you got to be able to throw some strikes. And Doty does that. Ground ball right to third, 2 hopper. Cleveland with it. Throw in time, first out of the inning. Hood now 0 for 2 at the top of the order for North Carolina.
Now up to bat, number 9, Grayson.
Here's shortstop Grayson Borntrager. He popped out to first his first time up. Pitch on the way. Outside part of the plate, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. This is another ground ball. Cleveland 2 hopper. On the run, his throw in time. Out number 2. And Kyler Doty, 4 pitches, 2 outs here in the 4th. Cleveland comes over and smacks gloves with him. Those two have been doing all the work right now. Here's the number 3 hitter, Hudson Grooms. Grooms with a fly out to left in his lone at bat. North Carolina with 1 hit. That came from Ike Sane, the number 10 hitter. Doty misses a little low and inside for ball 1. Inside again, ball 2. Florida picked up a couple runs in the first, 3 more in the second. They've yet to let North Carolina get across the plate. By the way, Hayden Lee, who was the pitcher, is now out in center field. Ball 3, low and inside. Mason Wyant, cleanup hitter, waits on deck. And that's ball 4. Doty missed on 4 straight, and Grooms gets on with 2 away. So here's Wyant. Wyant struck out looking against Lee in the 2nd inning. This catcher coming out to talk to him for a little bit. So catching for Florida now is McCoy Pollitt, now that Cleveland's over at third. All right, here's the pitch. That one hit in the air to center. Hayden Lee going back, and he can't make the catch. Over his head it goes. North Carolina sending a man all the way around. He's going to come in and score, and Carolina gets on the board for the first time with a big fly by Mason White. That ball just kept on carrying and carrying, and he ends up standing on third base with an RBI triple. Big hit that Carolina desperately needed. They get it here. 2 outs in the fourth. Just when it looked like Doughty was blowing through the Carolina lineup. He walked Grooms, and it came back to bite him as Wine hits a triple and knocks in the run. You could say that was probably a wind-aided fly ball. It just kept on carrying out towards center. This one hit the left. That's going to get down. Another run scores. 5-2 ball game as Austin Myers has a RBI single. So just like that, Florida's 5-0 comfortable lead all of a sudden is a little tighter. 5-2 game. Playing here in the top of the fourth. And up steps Tucker Motts. Mott's first at bat, he was hit by a pitch. Well, it got away from Hancock. He had to chase it down, but Austin Myers wasn't going anywhere. Off goes the runner. They don't even bother with a throw, and Myers gets to second base. Call on the pitch was a strike. Ashton Hullett, on deck hitter for North Carolina. 2 runs across already for Carolina. Now a runner in scoring position. Kyler Doty trying to gather this thing back in for Florida. No balls, 1 strike. Runner off and going. Throw down to third, not in time. Myers takes third base. Count, ball and a strike. And here's the pitch. This one fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's 2 outs here in the fourth. First 2 batters, Pax Hood and Grayson Borntrager, both grounded out to third. A walk to Grooms, a triple by Mason Wyant, and a single by Austin Myers. And here's the pitch. Ooh, just off the plate, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tucker Motts battling to stay alive here. Shading him a little bit toward left out in center field. Big gap in right center. Here's the pitch. They miss wide, ball 3. So it was a 1-2 count. All of a sudden, Kyler Doty having trouble. This one grounded. Doty lays out to get to it, makes a throw toward first in time, and he manages to throw out Tucker Motts. What a great defensive play as Doty had to lay out, knock the ball down, get up and try to throw it over to first in time to get Motts and retire the side. North Carolina with 2 runs on 2 hits, and they leave a man on base. Bottom of the fourth coming up. 5-2 Florida with the lead here on game day. All right, welcome back. Bottom of the fourth inning, 5-2 Florida with a lead over North Carolina. Pitching change now for North Carolina. As Grayson Borntrager leaves shortstop, he'll go to the mound. Brantley Wyant going back behind the plate to catch, and out in right field, we'll get Ike Singh for an inning. North Carolina, couple of runs in that last inning, and a big defensive play by the pitcher, Kyler Doty, saved a run because coming in from third was Austin Myers. He was about to make this a 5-3 game if there was anything that went wrong on that play, as Doughty was throwing out Tucker Motts to end that big fourth inning. All right, so some switches around. Hudson Grooms moving to shortstop now. Borntrager comes into play short. Here's the first pitch. This one hit into right field. That's a base hit. To start off the inning, Clay Germain will go around first. He'll cruise on into second base. And before he even gets settled in, Germain standing on second with a double.
Now up to bat, number 31, Cohen Carter.
Cohen Carter to follow now. This is the 7, 8, 9 hitters in the Florida lineup. They scored 2 in the first. They scored 3 in the second. They had a leadoff double in the third and didn't score. Now they're starting off here in the fourth inning with a leadoff double. Their leadoff man has gotten on all 4 times. 2 singles, 2 doubles so far. By contrast, North Carolina has not gotten their leadoff man on at all. Pitch to Carter, called strike. Cohen with a single in the second. Drove in a run. Hits this one past the first baseman. That's a single. Oh, and the right fielder can't get it. Ike Singh can't find the ball. Coming in to score is Germain. And how about another RBI off the bat of Cohen Carter? He's got 2 of them now. He's also got 2 base hits today. He cruises into second on the error. Well, Florida gave up 2 in the last half inning. They've picked up 1 and maybe 2 as this one's dropped into right field. Sane again having trouble with it. They'll roll Cohen Carter around, and now it's a 7-2 ball game. It took Florida all of 3 batters to get back the 2 runs they had given up in the last half inning.
Now up to bat, number 2, Griffin Troy.
Double, single, single. And it's a 7-2 game, and here's Griffin Troy, who walked and scored. Pitch misses low and away. And numbers on Hudson Grooms, 2 innings pitched. Gave up 1 walk, 4 hits, 3 runs, and had no strikeouts. And now we got a little conversation. I think there may be an injury out in right field. Ike Sain's kind of complaining about his right arm. He twice has hit the turf, and on that last one, trying to stop and get to the baseball that kind of spun away from him. He went down a little bit hard. Now the field here is turf in the infield, and it's grass out in the outfield, so it should not be nearly as hard. And we've had a lot of rain the last couple of days. That part of the field should be fairly soft, but still he went down and hit that right arm of his. So 7-2, Florida regains the 5-run lead. Griffin Troy, the number 10 hitter in the lineup. And here's the pitch to him. That one down low. Two balls and no strikes now on Griffin Troy. Carter Knight on deck. They'll whirl around and try to throw behind Kyler Doty, but he's not fooled by it, and he gets back. So Florida now 2 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 so far here in the fourth. That's going to be a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Troy was taking that one all the way. Double, single, single for the first 3 Florida batters here in the fourth. Another one catches the outside part of the plate. Griffin Troy, not a happy man right now. Swings at this one, punches it to center. Caught by North Carolina's center fielder, Tucker Montz, for the first out of the inning.
Now to bat number 8, Carter Knight.
So number 9 hitter, Carter Knight up. Knight singled, got stranded at third back in the second inning. First pitch, swinging line drive to the shortstop, caught on the fly, and they'll double off. Kyle Doty, who was often running with the pitch, and that'll end the inning. But Florida picks back up the 2 runs they gave away. They do that on 3 hits. There was an error and nobody left on base. Top of the 5th coming up when we return. 7-2 Florida with the lead here on Game Day. All right, welcome back. Coming to you live from Bossier City, the Diamond Youth Baseball World Series for Division II, the AAA, the majors, and what we're doing is the 12 and under Ozone. 11 Southern champions, the runner-up from South Carolina, and the host team from Vivian, Louisiana. All part of this 13-team conglomerate. Started play on Thursday for seeding. Got to, or actually for pool play. Started the wins and losses yesterday, and now we're starting to eliminate teams as we've said goodbye to 3 of them. One of these 2 will be the 4th. The other one will move on to play tomorrow. And it gets extremely hard now to stay out of or stay alive in this thing once you've gotten down in the loser's bracket early. You've got extra games you've got to try to win to get your way back up to vying for a championship.
Yes.
Florida will come back out with Kyler Doty back on the mound. He's going to face 7, 8, 9 hitters in the North Carolina lineup. He started out really well in the 4th, got a couple of ground outs right away, and then got in a little bit of trouble with a walk and a triple. See how he fares against Cashton Hullett. First pitch to Hullett, way outside. Hullett struck out his first time up. Of course, that was against Hayden Lee. It'll be Hullett, Brantley Wyatt, and Carter Sane for North Carolina. Champions from Vail. That one inside, and they actually are the West Lincoln Optimist Club. That's how they played as during their state tournament. 2 balls, no strikes now. Oh, make it, well, I was about to say 3-0, but tell you what, Hullett did not budge an inch, and he let that ball get him on the shoulder, and he'll take first base. So Brantley Wyatt up now. Exactly the thing we talked about last inning. It's all about location right now. You don't have to have great stuff. You just got to throw strikes. No freebies getting on base. Here's Wyatt up now. He grounded out to the shortstop, swings the first pitch and fouls it back. No balls and 1 strike. Carter Sane on deck. A rather large heron, it looked like, just flew in right behind the outfield wall in right field. I was afraid he was going to land on the field. Don't want anybody doing a Randy Johnson out there and knocking down a bird. So no balls, 1 strike. Wyant back in there now. Here's a pitch. This one popped up. Shortstop calling for it. He'll make the grab behind the bag. That's Kason Jackson for out number 1. Carter Sane up now. Sane flew out to center his first time up. Ike Sane with the bat goes around behind him. 1 out, top of the 5th. Throw over to first. Back safely is Cashton Hullett. North Carolina, their 2 runs came in the 4th. They struggled with Hayden Lee, who basically went through the entire lineup in 3 innings and 40 pitches. Since the change to Kyler Doty, they've had a little more luck. Swing and a miss as Doty goes off speed, and the count's 0-2 now to to Carter Sane. Oh, got him with a beautiful pitch. Oh, that was actually strike 2. It was a second strike that Sane has looked at. Now it's an 0-2 count. Doty going with the same thing. This one popped up. Foul territory. Hancock can't get it, but it falls harmlessly. No harm. Yes, foul. No balls, 2 strikes still. Jackson Hancock playing over there at first base for Florida. And here's the 0-2. Nope. Low and away, ball 1. North Carolina with Hullett at first base, 1 out, top of the 5th. Trying to keep Florida within catching distance. Got it down to a 3-run game, gave 2 runs right back again to Florida. And that pitch misses way outside again. Another throw down to first, and Hullett back in there safely. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. And the pitch fouled back. Sane stays alive, 2-2. On this field after this game, we'll have the scheduled 6 o'clock ball game. Here's the pitch. Another one fouled to the screen. And that would be the matchup between Louisiana and Tennessee. That'll be the last game on this field today. And that will be another elimination game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's Kyler Doty. Bounces that one in 3-2. Rubs those hands quickly on his pants. Got a little bit of slick, perspirated grip on his hands. Couldn't hold the ball well. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Lifted in the air, shallow right, it's gonna drop. Everybody's safe. And North Carolina's got 2 runners on now. Carter Sane with a base hit. Ike Sane up now for his second at bat of the game. He singled his first time up. Runners at first and second. Boy, North Carolina wishes they'd not given up those 2 in the last half inning. They're starting to gain a little bit of momentum. They gave it back to Florida, but now they're trying to seize it again. Doty misses outside, ball 1. Last man in the order, Dylan Carpenter, waiting on deck before we roll back up top to Pax Hood. Swing and a miss. 1-1. North Carolina got a double play to get out of the last inning. Florida could use one right here. Yeah, a little too long for Ike Sane as he backs out of there and calls timeout. And trying to throw behind the runner, and that one shot down into center field, but Hayden Lee is there backing it up, so the runners don't advance. All right, we'll set again. Ball and a strike. Runners at first and second for North Carolina. One out here in the inning. Swung on and missed. Pitch outside. Sane went after, and now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's Doty's pitch in on the batter. Almost got Sane. 2-2. Telling you, at high school, those coaches would make you run. You get out of the way of that pitch. You take that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and just got a piece of it to stay alive.
Pitcher number 1, Kyler Doty, is now at 35 pitches.
So Florida about to have to make a decision about their pitcher as Doty's at his 35th pitch. Still got a 2-2 count here on Sane. And he fouls off another one. Tell you what, Ike Sane battling here to stay alive in this at bat. And the pitch, swing and a miss. He went off speed and up, and that's a hard pitch to lay off of. Sane goes down for the second out of the inning, and out comes Florida's coach, Bo Jackson. He's going to have to make a pitching change. So 37 pitches for Kyler Doughty today. He gave up 2 runs in his 2 innings worth of work. Struck out 1, hit 1, and walked 1. So 1's across the board for Florida for Kyler Doughty. Now, who's the guy? Looks like it's going to be number 11. And for Florida, that is Clay Germain, the second baseman. He's about to be the 3rd pitcher of the day. We'll take a timeout while he warms up. We'll come right back here in 60 seconds on Game Day. All right, welcome back. Still playing here in the top of the 5th inning. Pitching change for Florida as Kyler Doty about to run out of pitches. Clay Germain is coming onto the mound. Doty's going to go to second base. And they will face the last man in the lineup for North Carolina, Dylan Carpenter. We got runners on first and second to North Carolina. 2 outs in this inning. Top of the 6th. Top of the 5th. Excuse me. This one hit into right field. Fielder there, he's got it, and that's going to end the inning. Griffin Troy with the grab for the 3rd and final out of the 5th. So a little danger, but no damage. No runs. There was 1 hit and 2 men left on base for North Carolina. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Florida 7, North Carolina 2. You're on game day. All right, we welcome you back. Bottom of the 5th inning. Florida with a 7-2 lead over the state champions from North Carolina. Grayson Borntrager still on the mound for North Carolina. Florida's got the top of the order coming up. So Kason Jackson, Ty Cleveland, Hayden Lee. 5-run lead for Florida. Mission now is see if you can add to that, give it a little more cushion for Clay Germain, who came on to finish off that 5th inning. You figure he'll come back in the 6th and face what would be the top of the North Carolina lineup. So it's a question now of whose top of the order is going to be more successful, Florida's or North Carolina's. If it's Florida's, they're going to win this game. It's North Carolina. This thing gets in doubt in a hurry. Here's Jackson now. Kason has singled, reached on a fielder's choice, scored a run. Part of that first 2 runs Florida scored in the 1st inning. And Borntrager misses low and away with the first pitch he throws here in the 5th. 3rd pitcher for Carolina. Misses again low and away. Mason Wyatt started. He went an inning. Hudson Grooms went 2. Borntrager's come in since then, and he's trying to finish off the 5th and keep Florida off the board. He misses again. 3 balls, no strikes. And that one actually is a strike. 3-1. Ground ball towards second to Hopper. Throw in time. There's out number 1. North Carolina retires the leadoff man. Pax Hood over at second base with that play. Here's Ty Cleveland now. Cleveland with a single and a fly out to left. His flyout came with bases loaded. Ball 1, now ball 2. Pitches up from Borntrager. On deck, Hayden Lee. This one popped up. Heading towards center field. And it'll be grabbed there by Motts for the 2nd out. Borntrager's doing his job, holding the score where it was, giving his offense a chance to come back. Hayden Lee up now. Lee 1 for 2. Grounded out and doubled. First pitch swinging, backhand stab by the first baseman, race to the bag. Borntrager wins it, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Florida as they get nothing here in the fifth. No runs, no hits, nobody left. North Carolina's down to their last at-bats. They trail by 5. They'll come up in the top of the 6th with the top of their order when we come back here on Game Day. All right, welcome back. Top of the 6th inning. North Carolina needs 5 runs to extend this game. They've been outscored by a 7-2 mark. Didn't have a hit until we got into the 3rd inning. Since then, they've picked up another, well, we got 3 more hits. So 4 hits, 2 runs. North Carolina has left on base 5 runners. On the other side for Florida, 7 runs, 9 hits. There were 3 Carolina errors and 3 men left on base. All right, well, it's Clay Germain's game now. He gets to take on the top of the order, Pax Hood, Grayson Borntrager, and Hudson Grooms. He's got a 7-2 lead. He needs to get 3 outs before they get 5 runs. If he does that, Florida advances. And they get to play again tomorrow. That'll be the 2 o'clock game here on field 9 tomorrow. And they would get, well, let's see, either Alabama or South Carolina. And if it was Alabama, that's a rematch of the game earlier today. All right, away we go. Top of the 6th, Clay Germain. First pitch, misses low and outside to Pax Hood. Hood 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs. Ground ball towards short. Jackson dives, can't get there, and that's a base hit to lead off the 6th.
Now it's bat number 9, Grayson.
One at a time if you're North Carolina. Just one at a time. Borntrager next. 0 for 2, pop out, and a ground out. Big gap right center. Boy, they're giving him all kinds of room. Hayden Lee way over in left center. Throw to first, diving back. Pax Hood. Top of this lineup. First 3 batters don't have a hit or didn't have a hit until that one. Borntrager going to lift this one to shallow center. Going back is the shortstop, Jackson. He's got the ball, throw to first in time to double off Pax Hood. What a play by Kason Jackson. He went out into shallow center, got that ball, and had the presence of mind to turn around and fire it to first, and doubled off Pax Hood, and there's quickly 2 outs. And now Carolina all of a sudden is down to their final out. And here's Hudson Grooms. Grooms fly out and a walk. Oh, good pitch outside corner for strike 1. Heady play by Jackson. Let's turn this thing around here in the 6th. Swing, ground ball, foul, first base side, and Carolina's down to their last strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Base is empty, 2 outs, 7-2 Florida lead. Carolina with 2 runs, 4 hits, 5 hits now. And here's the pitch. Missed outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Clay Germain on the mound in relief of Hayden Lee and Kyler Doty. The pitch swung on, lifted in the infield. Germain calling it off, and Florida advances. No runs, no hits, no errors here in the 6th inning. Florida finishes off the team from North Carolina by a score of 7-2, and Florida will play tomorrow against either Alabama or South Carolina. And for the kids from North Carolina, their season comes to an end with a loss here against Florida. All right. They're going to do their on-field ceremony. We're going to kill the feed. I'm going to go get an interview, and we'll get ready for the next game on this field that will feature the teams from Louisiana and Tennessee. Been watching us here on Game Day.